Hi, mamas. Welcome to episode 1 of the Motherhood Unfiltered Podcast, where we will have honest conversations about motherhood, mental health, and self care. I wanted to just start off this podcast, episode 1, just telling you a little bit about myself, why I decided to start a podcast, what you can expect to hear, see. If you're listening to me on Apple, or if you're listening to me on Spotify, if you're watching me on YouTube, I just wanted to pop in real quick on episode 1 and just tell you a little bit about myself. So, as I said, my name is Kimbridge. I am a mom of 2. My son is 8. You will probably hear me talk about him a lot. My daughter is 5, going on 55. She acts like an old lady, so she will definitely be a subject of topic quite often because there's always something new and exciting and different, and she definitely challenges me and my husband daily. I am married to my husband, and we have been married 10, almost 11 years, and we live in South Florida. I started this podcast because I have a lot of friends, acquaintances that I've met over the years who have been on this journey just like I have, with being a mother, first time mother, second time mother, multiple time mother. And quite often I have people who reach out, we have conversations about motherhood, who are facing different challenges depending on where they are in their motherhood journey, if they have newborns, if they have toddlers, if their kids are school age, high school age, etc. And we just have conversation, honest conversation. And one thing that I've learned over the years with being a mother is to be brutally honest, even if it stings a little bit. The reason being is that if you can't be honest with yourself, if you can't be honest with your other, if you can't be honest with your other mom friends, who can you be honest with? Some things you can't have conversations with your husband, your significant other, about. You can't talk to your significant other about your about being pregnant, getting towards the end of the pregnancy and having hemorrhoids. You can't talk to your significant other about your boobs leaking if you're breastfeeding, or it's just different things that we experience as mothers, that if you haven't gone through the experience as a mother, or if you are not a female, you're not going to understand. You're not going to go through. You're not going to know what it feels like for you to have stretch marks, for your body to change drastically, for you to go from being 150 to 200 to hoping to get back to 150 and not really getting there and getting pregnant again. It's just, motherhood is a journey. And I don't wish for anyone to go on this journey alone. And in addition to that, mental health in motherhood is a whole other journey. And so I started this podcast because 8 years ago, when I had my son, not long after I had him, I really, really, really struggled with postpartum depression. I struggled with it for a number of reasons. The first reason was I was in denial. I was in denial, complete denial. The river of denial, I was riding on it, okay? Because I was walking around like, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. And the reality was I wasn't. I was not okay. I was not fine. I was breaking down randomly, crying randomly for no real reason, no real explanation for why I was going through what I was going through. And I felt alone. Not that I didn't have friends or family around, but I felt like alone and embarrassed. Embarrassed that I had this new baby and I should be super excited about this new bundle of joy that I brought into the world. And I should be so blessed because there are so many people, who want to have children and can't, and all the things that, make us feel embarrassed or ashamed when we have a problem or we're struggling. And I felt like I had no one to talk to. Meanwhile, what I didn't realize was happening was my husband was watching me. My husband was doing whatever he could to try to support me. He was doing whatever he could to try to take the load off for me, whether it's getting up in the middle of the night to feed our son, changing diapers, washing clothes, helping with meals. He was doing all the things. My husband is an amazing father and husband. But I was struggling and I was in denial when it came to postpartum depression. It took for my son to get to about somewhere in the 4 to 6 month range. I feel like it was closer to 4 months, where my husband literally had an intervention with me and my mom. And they basically sat me down and they were like, look, you're struggling. Postpartum depression is real and it is okay if you need help. And I'm looking at them like, it is? Like, it's okay if yes, absolutely. Please go find someone to talk to. Please call your OBGYN, even if they can't, advise you on everything they need to do. A lot of times they can kickstart the program for you. They have therapists. They have someone that they can get you, a psychologist, someone that they can refer you to so that you can get the help that you need. And so that's what ended up happening. Literally that day, I called my OBGYN. I left a message. She called me back immediately. And she said, I have some referrals for you. In the interim, let's go ahead and get you to come in. Let me do an initial evaluation. And maybe there's some medication that I can give you in the interim to help you to be able to function as a new mom. So that's what I did. I went in for my first appointment with not my first appointment, but an appointment with my OBGYN. She did an evaluation and she said, you definitely are suffering from postpartum depression. Now, was it hard to hear that? Absolutely. But was it a relief at the same time? Because it was like, yes, Kim, you might be a little bit crazy, but it's okay. We have things that we can do to combat your crazy. And so that's what happened. There's a lot of stuff that happened during that time, which we will get into on the next episodes and episode after that. But yeah, this is why I started this podcast. I started this podcast for the new mom, the mom vet, the grandma, the auntie that maybe she doesn't have kids, but maybe she sees some things in her sister or her sister friends that they're struggling with and they just need a little bit of advice, a little pick me up, a little giggle, a little gag. Okay. That's who I started this podcast for. For people like me who felt like maybe they were alone. I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. We are going to get through this thing together. I've been doing this for 8 years. There's no manual, no book. You can read all 1,000, however many books there is on parenting. You will never be prepared. Don't let anybody tell you when it's your time to have a child. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do this. You can. I'm doing it. And my story is unique, and we're going to get into that later. I am an adopted child, okay? So there's a whole other set of circumstances that comes along with me being a mom. But yes, I started this podcast for the moms who are struggling, for the moms who are looking for community. I'm hoping that I can build a community here where we can just sit and talk and chit chat and gaggle, and you can write me comments and send me questions, and I will make those into episodes, and I plan to respond to you guys. And I'm just so excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been putting this off for a while. I've made a lot of excuses. Even today, I made excuses for why I didn't need to record today. Oh, my hair's not done. My husband was like, if you don't go upstairs and put your makeup on right now and do what it is that you said you were going to do. And so here I am. This is episode 1. We are coming to the conclusion of episode 1. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the Motherhood Unfiltered Podcast, where we have honest conversations about motherhood, mental health, and self-care. And I am so appreciative to have you all here. And I look forward to you tuning in for episode 2, 3, 4, 5, however many of these episodes I can get to. Yeah, that's it. So until next time, peace, love, and light. Thank you for tuning in.